Why, Carter Little himself with a cup of coffee.
Well,
And this,
I have tea. It's afternoon. That's
oh
why.
my.
I
How
do have
properly
honestly,
English.
I have leftover cold coffee too, but
You're
we're,
all
we're
set.
drinking.
You're for any eventuality, you're set for.
I got it
Like,
set up. Anyway,
today is the 24th of April, 2024. And Kurt and me are having another little short because it was inspired by the last little short. Isn't that nice? What do you want to talk about, sir?
well, you asked a question. We talked about time
Yes.
in the last one, in how the different classes have make different use of time, and you are using it as how they express a respect for time in time, your time, basically, my time, whatever, anybody else. And the thing I want to get across, which is a thing, part of the rich people aren't any different or whatever. That's bullshit.
Uh,
Right now, Brad, you can work an human amount of hours in a day compared to most people, right?
it's absurd, I must say.
Yes. Okay. So, and now my health aside, before I was ill, it was nothing for me to work an 18-hour day.
My goodness.
Nothing. 14 on a regular basis,
Right.
right? Which is probably why I'm ill.
I would not argue.
But and I know my limit in that workspace because I can't context switch too much.
Right.
If you talk to some of these guys who are billionaires, who run these complex organizations with lots of people in them and phenomenal amounts of money and complexity through those organizations, they can work that many hours a day, and they can context switch,
Mm,
and they can absorb all that information, and they can empathize and sympathize with the people they're talking to enough to understand their relative position from which they're conveying the knowledge.
right.
And they can respond to those people in terms that will get them or force them to act
Right.
as necessary accordingly. And so, if I build an organization and I have, let's say, 10 direct executive reports that are all competent, right? And I can run $100 million company relatively easily. Matter of fact, I probably run two or three of them, which is different from having to run $1 billion, right?
Right.
Three
Right.
companies that need systematizing at the $100 million level is not the same as one company who has to run systematized at the $1 billion or $5 billion or
Right.
$6 billion. There's no comparison. The amount of crap that will go through a Elon Musk's mind in a day
Yeah. Yeah.
it's inhuman. Or the few times I worked with Bill Gates, the amount of stuff that guy could process and really do it, like, I mean, without exercise and without effort, right? Because he thought it was fun, right? That's those guys. Right? I'm trying to think of the guy. Who's the Russian guy? I can't think of the Russian guy. He's been beat up a lot, but he's anyway. Um, the amount of crap that guy puts through his head in one day is, that's why they buy a yacht, so you can get away from people,
Right.
right? And so when you say, well, they're no, they're a lot different. I remember when one of my friends came to work for a guy who'd been friends together for a long time, came to work with me for a while. He says, the average person can't imagine not only that you work that hard all the time, or that they can't imagine it's possible to work that hard all the time. Right? It's not possible for most people.
Right.
So some of us are like, we can exercise, right? Some of us can play a junior level team sport, right?
Right.
But some of us are super athletes that can run marathons or
That's right.
right, and it's the same thing in cognitive capacity,
That's right.
right? And so when you say, yeah, there's no, I mean, I know the limit of my capacity, and I know what happens to me beyond that limit. And
Yes.
I look at some other guy, I look at other guys, and what's the difference? Their limit for it's the same stuff, right? But the volume and time they can compress into it is
That's
just
right.
that much higher.
That's right. That's
And
right.
so when you're talking about the use of time, what's the value of time in the spectrum of people
That's right.
that goes up to that top end there?
That's it.
What's the value? What's his value of time? I mean,
Right.
he could process really a year's worth of knowledge in a short period of time compared to what this person could understand
That's
in
right.
process, right? And so when you say that they're 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 not they're all the same or they're equal, they're not different, it's all privilege. That's as like saying
Madness.
you can go out and be Tom Brady. You're not going to be Tom. You might work your whole life to play football, and
Right.
you might make it as a
No,
bottom string on an NFL team, but you're not going to be. I mean,
it's just madness.
it's just statistically impossible because you have to be biomechanically literate what
Right.
biomechanical
Right.
your
Built
body
for it.
and your mind. It has to be better than other people's to do it.
That's right.
And so that's my critical complaint as someone who other people look at and said, I can't believe you can do that. And I look at those guys and I'm like, I get what you're doing. And oh my God, I would
Right.
die.
I understand.
I
I
would just
understand.
die under the
So
pressure.
processing the information is quite interesting, and it is like when you talk to them, you're taking up processing time,
Yes.
and it's okay, and it comes down to forbearance, right?
Yes.
And that's okay, but it's like it's an interesting thing to become aware of.
I remember, I think I've told this, but it's because it's one of my favorite male female stories as well as employee employer stories. This is my friend Ariella. She came in and said, "Oh, that's right. You're a man. I just have to talk to you like this, right? Because we're friends. She's going to talk to me as a friend, but she's actually coming to me with a business problem. So she has to stop, shut down, and say, "Here's just the facts," right? And
Right,
right, and it's just funny that that if you work with people you know enough, well, I have to do. We have men have to do the opposite. You have to say, "Okay, I'm not going to just the facts, of my girlfriend or wife."
right. That won't work.
That doesn't work, right? I mean, because that's not what their her means of communication, or does it fulfill her needs? She needs
Right, right,
she needs the emotional map to get through whatever it is
right.
and so you do that just like mothers do to their children the
Absolutely.
same way. So anyway, I just wanted to cover that issue because it's a pet peeve of mine when people denigrate guys who are extremely high performers, and I'm like, just you have no idea. I have some idea. I can play. I might be able to get on a national team, right? But I can certainly dominate the minors, right? But those guys, I can't compete with them. There's just no way. I can't work that. I can't process that much information, especially when you just difference between data, data information, um, contexts, like different categories of problems, and empathizing
Yeah,
and systematizing within the minds of people of different domains and categories and whatever. If
right,
I'm with a bunch of other smart people, I guess I'm okay. But I mean, if I had to do all, I mean, I just can't do it. And so you appreciate those guys. I look up to them the ways, kids look up to some soccer player, right?
right,
I look
right.
up to those guys and say, shit, I wish I was that good. That's pretty cool. But you're just not
We
anyway.
call that a hat tip. Just a hat tip. It's just like, okay,
It's
that's
just
nice.
just
It's been
just
great.
respect. It's respect, man. I mean,
Right.
all right, anyway,
How
that's
about
all.
that for a micro short?
That was a micro short.
Wait, can I tell everybody to
You
hit
can?
like and subscribe and then maybe the notification bell? Kurt, do you think I can ask them to leave some comments?
I think you can.
I will do it. You heard him. Leave some comments then.
Love you all. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
All right, Kurt. See if you can find the record button again.
No, it's the stop record button. It's not the stop sharing button. It's not the stop meeting button. It's the stop recording button.
Oh my word.
And they're in different places. All right.
They're all over the place.
All right. Bye.